Hey, it's John again for Immaculate Grid. Coming off an interesting one last night. I had a really good rarity score in my timed round. I was down in the 30s, just blasting out a bunch of lower rarity scores, and then I fused Pedro Alvarez and Josh Harrison. So um, I said Harrison for 100 RBI. I was thinking of Pedro Alvarez, I think, but yeah, just mix them up, I guess. But in any event, let's play today. Let's see if I do any better. Maybe I'll try for like better scores in the timed round. But I was am I've set a personal rule for myself is don't use someone twice. I have to come up with 18 names, but unless it's like there was only one option or something like that. But I it would be nice to not always go with several of the most popular, but usually I just do it. It's the first name that comes to my mind. I want to just get it out there. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's play, and away we go. Sharing the screen here, hit and refresh. This would have been the timed round yesterday. Yeah, a lot of low ones. Refresh and go. All right, that's Jeff Nelson combo. Let's grab Kevin Mitchell. I don't want to. Oh well. First round draft pick, Griffey. Was Greinke a first rounder? I think so. Woo. All right, that's a Jeff Supan, Lou Piniella. Played shortstop for a game. Cheater. See, that's not gonna be a good one. Nomar. Actually, Nomar was a first round draft pick, so let's put him there. And we can. Oh shoot, I don't know how to spell his name. Vern Stevens. Really? Is that the first? There he is. I got it in a minute. Vern Stevens. So what I was trying to do is Xander Bogarts, but it's Boegarts is probably how it was, and it wasn't coming up. So I went Vern Stevens, who's probably the guy I should have held out with. Yeah, play for the Browns. Good to know. Pretty sure that's the Browns. So I got point 0.4 there, point 0.6 there, 48% on Griffey. Fun. I think I've got a couple. That'll be interesting. We'll see if I can come up with someone from the Royals. All right, so let's stop share and let's reshare. And let's find yesterday's failure. There it is. Yeah, Seattle Boston with Kevin Mitchell was the first name that came to my mind, but I just that's because I know Kevin Mitchell's teams. And man, I don't know. I think Derek Lowe works. I want to see Mike Timlo. You know who works though is Jose Cruz Jr. Point one. All right. I'm surprised I didn't even think to go with Damon on either of these. That would have been logical. Let's see. Go with a Rizzuto or a Kubek. Tony Fernandez was over at shortstop for a bit. What was it before that? Or if Jeremy Schaefer would work. He's my guy. Let's see. And for Boston, Lowry maybe would be a good one. Orlando Cabrera, John Valentin. I want to say Robin Yount will work down here. First round draft picks are never great with me. I do happen to know that Roberto Hernandez, who's I think qualifies a friend of the podcast. Yeah, point oh 0.02. That's a good one. Let's see. Seattle and New York. Got Rarity, Giambi Teixeira. Tino will work. Tino's going to be pretty popular though. Um, Richie Sexton will work. Would be an interesting one. Some other first round draft picks who, but Andy Bennis I think was a first round draft pick. There we go. Point one, not bad. Pretty good start so far. Um, Ray Sanchez play for the Red Sox at some point. Not sure on that one. Not sure if Jeff Fry ever made his way over to shortstop. I guess he was when he was Boston, he was there with Nomar and John Valentin before that, so I don't think that'll work. Um, let's see, get Orlando Cabrera. Renteria played a year in Boston, and it was not a very good year. Cabrera was on the '04 team, so I think that's probably a dicier choice. Hanley Ramirez, maybe? Did Hanley Ramirez, because not at the end of his career, he was a first baseman at the end. Did he get any playing time before he was traded to Boston? I think the answer based on these years is yes. I think it was in '06 that he his rookie year with the Marlins. So I'm going to say yes, he played a little shortstop. 2%. Okay. He was traded for Josh Beckett and Mike Lowell, and then he comes back, but he's a first baseman by then. He was a lot stockier when he was with Boston. Um, he's a much like lankier player in Florida. All right. If we come up with anyone for shortstop who isn't Derek Jeter or Tony Fernandez or Phil Rizzuto or Tony Kubek, my ace in the hole, not it's not an ace in the hole, it's a joker in the hole, I guess. But Germany Schaefer is I think he played a little no, you know what? He only played one game with the Yankees. I'm not gonna pick that. That'd be dumb. So won't be doing that. I don't even know who the shortstop was on Murderers Row. I really feel like I should know that. He was one of the murderers, presumably. Lazzeri, did he ever play over Troy? I mean, he's mainly a second baseman. Wouldn't surprise me if he got a little shortstop time. Same with like a Joe Gordon. Um, I think Alfonso Soriano came up as a shortstop, but obviously was moved right over to second base. And another one I'm kind of thinking of is Alex Rodriguez, because I know he played a game over there. That actually reminds me, I remember the game. And I'm gonna put Gary Sheffield because he was a shortstop and he was, I think, a first round draft pick. Takes point 0.4. He's a shortstop when he came up with the Brewers. Wasn't very good at it. But I remember the game. I think it was the game where Jeter ran in the stands and ran an extra 40 feet and face planted. And um like he came out, I think, of that game. A-Rod had just been acquired. This was '04, I think. So A-Rod had just bet like he was the reigning Gold Glover at shortstop. So they just slid him over from shortstop or from third base to shortstop, but I don't think they had a third baseman besides A-Rod. So they brought Sheffield out from right field to play third base, where he hadn't played in over a decade at that point. I remember that game very vividly. Not that vividly, but I mean, I remember seeing the highlights of it. I don't think I was watching live, but I saw the highlights of it. Like, wait a minute, Sheffield over a third, really? Him? I don't know if that's going to be more or less rare than maybe getting what about Luis Soho? Backup infielder, day off for Jeter, maybe takes 1%. All right. Let's see. And over here, we have to come up with someone who played for the Mariners and Yankees who isn't Tino Martinez or A-Rod, because those are both way too obvious. Randy Johnson would also work. Also pretty obvious. Um, I think some other relievers who might have snuck in there. Sexton was the name of someone who will work. I don't know how obvious that one is. That seems like it's going to hover in the 1 to 2% territory. Um, Ibianas will work. Ibianas will also work over here. That might be an interesting one. Let's go Sexton over here. 1%. How does Ibianas do? 2%. He did have those big home runs in the 2012 playoffs. Then Royals and Red Sox. Ray Sanchez comes to mind for some reason. I know he was traded from the Royals to the Braves, but I think the Red Sox were in there too. Let's take a shot. Hey, I got it right. 0.07 on that last one. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't come up with Damon. Didn't come up with Cano. Jeter and Nomar, I think were my only. Oh no, and Griffey. Were so I got three of them were the most obvious picks for my 110 or whatever rarity score on the time round. All right, I'll take a 7. Pretty good. Got first round draft pick. That's a weak category for me, and I did really well with that. So pretty stoked. 0.52 on that. Really, it was just a couple 2%ers, so not too bad, not too shabby. All right, well, thanks a lot for playing, and hope you all have a great rest of your night. And I'll be back at tomorrow. Peace.